Are you ready for some black sheep?
Exercise is live!
Black Sheep Bravo, broadcasting from red zone to green zone and everywhere in between. Always armed.
You taking a deep breath?
Yeah. I know how to breathe.
Okay. All right. This is the Spaniard, Black Sheep Bravo. Little something different today. El Jefe and Crash are out doing their own thing. In case you guys haven't been following, Crash is opening up his own bait shop. So I guess he's got his ass knee deep in worms and shit. So he's going to be dirty for a while. So I'm doing a little something different in his absence. So with me today is an actual female. First time on Black Sheep Bravo. So let's give it up for the trophy wife. Happens to be a wife of a combat veteran. She decided after a lot of persuasion to come on the show and talk a little bit about what it's like to be a wife of a combat veteran. So, trophy wife, go ahead and say hi. Tell us a little bit about yourself. That was the dog, by the way. We also have a dog here. So that was not your cue. All right, go ahead and sit.
That's the dog. That's the husband's service dog, actually. So we have issues. But I'm the wife of a combat vet. 20 years we've been married. Ups and downs. Some good, some bad.
What are some of the ups?
Some of the ups, I would say life is never boring. It's always changing. We're always looking for adventure, having fun.
Now, we were talking adventure. Are you talking just you two, or like in the bedroom kind of shit? Or are we talking like adventure?
Oh, everything, both.
Yeah.
With the family, with each other.
Okay, cool. Now, the downs. What are the downs?
The downside of being married to a combat vet. Issues, health issues that he has, service-related health problems, PTSD, mood swings. Things of that nature.
Sounds like a nice guy, huh?
He's a great guy.
Yeah,
he's a great guy.
Very nice.
You would like him
Really?
very much, I have a feeling.
Okay. What branch of service was he in?
Marines.
Oh, so you like Marines?
Yes.
All right. Well, there you go. All right. So in this new topic, again, we're going to be talking a little bit today about living in a civilian world with transitioning from the battlefield over until civilian life. So let's talk a little bit about how you guys met.
We met in, I think it was 91 or 92. It was shortly after he came back from the Gulf War. So I didn't know too much about him then. I really didn't even know that he was a combat vet. I didn't really know what that meant. We were early 20s. We were young. So we started from there. We started dating. My cat died, so he called me up with condolences, and that was how we made our first date.
That sounds pretty fucking cheesy.
Yes.
Like your cat
He's
died.
full of cheese.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah.
He's full of shit. So he used your dead cat to get in your pants, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and you allowed it to happen?
Not instantly, but
So that it worked.
I mourned the cat for a while,
Oh, okay.
and then
all right.
we took it from there.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, was this the first person that you have ever dated that was in the military?
Yes.
Really? All right.
The only person that I've
Okay.
ever dated that was military.
Yeah. So what did you notice differently, or that was different with this guy than the typical guys you had dated back in that time? What did you notice anything different, or what was? And actually, the other question would be, what was your draw? What made you follow this guy?
Well, I would say initially it was because he was very good looking. He's a hot Latin man.
I see.
Not unlike yourself,
I see.
Spaniard.
Okay, good. Yeah, just keep it along.
But, back then he was very, when you're young, I think you're kind of looking for the guy that's a little bit brutish and moody, and that was definitely him when he first was discharged from the Marines. So, he was very hot and cold. His temperament was sometimes unexpected. It would seem like just when the relationship was really going good, that's when he would want to break up or, pick a fight or something. It was almost like he felt like he didn't deserve happiness.
Okay, wow, that's pretty deep. That's pretty deep. How'd you get beyond that? Besides drinking a lot, being fucked up all the time. I mean, what was a way that you saw through it? What kept you coming back for more? I guess is the.
I'm not really sure. I guess I was just a glutton for punishment. I mean, not that he was a jerk. He certainly wasn't abusive to me. It was more abuse to himself than it was to me.
Okay.
But it was just it was very hard for me to understand the way he reacted to things, because like I said, it seemed like when things were going really good for us, that's when he would become cold and distant.
Wow,
like he didn't think he deserved the happiness, I guess. That's the only way I can look at it.
Now, looking back now, I mean, how long have you guys been together?
Well, we've been married for 20 years, and we probably dated for about 3 years before we got married.
Damn, so you've known this guy for 23 years.
Yeah.
What's the secret? Be honest. Or are you afraid because there's too many people listening around?
Yeah, there's my daughter's here, so I'm not going to say what.
Oh, we're gonna get to her here in a little bit.
Okay.
So yeah, no, she thinks she's safe, but she's not. All right. So was there any time during your relationship with this Marine that you figured like, damn, something's wrong? Did something?
Oh, like every day I thought something was wrong.
Like what? I mean, give me an example.
I don't know. I guess it. I don't know. Don't ask me for examples. That's putting me on the spot.
What kind of spot? And don't say G spot, because then that'll really get the guys excited. So.
No.
All right. So nothing like that. You can't think of something like that. So what kept you going though? I mean, 23 years. You've been with this guy for 23 years. What is the secret for you to keep going? I guess.
I think it was when we had broken up. I finally said enough is enough. I called him out on his bullshit because I realized, I mean, I knew that a lot of his problems stemmed from his service. A lot of his emotional problems stemmed from the service. So I think I was cutting him too much slack, and I realized that I needed to call him out on his bullshit. Like, just because he has a good reason for being the way he is doesn't mean that, you know, you shouldn't say something to him. Nonsense is nonsense, even if it's justifiable. You don't have to take... And I think it was a wake-up call for him. I think he realized, I'm going to be alone if I don't change my evil ways.
Wow, okay. That's pretty heavy. Now, just to kind of remind everybody, we are outside the Spaniard Castle. There's a lot of people cutting their grass, which is, you know, kind of late to be cutting their grass.
It never ends.
I'm kind of tired
The
of this
lawn
shit already,
mowing.
you know? It's like I can't even...
What the hell? It never stops. Like, like, you can't even see where the lawnmowers are. You can only hear them.
Yeah.
Like, I think someone's just playing it. It's like on their stereo.
That could be.
It's just lawnmower
They're
sounds.
doing it just to piss me off. That's what it is.
That's what it is. It's the crazy...
I mean, every fucking minute of the day there's a lawnmower going on. Is that typical suburbia? Or?
It is.
No.
It is. That's why we need to go to Crash's place, because you don't
he's
hear
got
all
that
that.
farm.
Well, you hear a little bit of traffic and some goats frolicking and whatever.
Yeah, you missed out on that last visit, so
Yeah.
that was good. But yeah, so kind of going back to relationship. Now, do you have kids?
Yes, I have three children.
Okay, and what are their ages?
20, 17, and 9.
Wow. Okay. Boys, girls, all boys.
The 2 oldest are girls, and the 9-year-old is a boy.
Wow. How was that having 2 girls?
Great. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Girls are great.
Pretty low maintenance, high maintenance growing up?
I would say that the boy is easier than the girls were. I think I relate to him more than I did the girls.
Okay.
I have more in common with him for some reason.
Really? Like what?
We just have the same interests. I mean, we both like, you know, seeing the superhero movies. We just went and saw Civil War. And
what did you think about that movie? Without giving anything...
I thought it was good. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give away any spoilers, but it was a good movie.
Now, out of all those people there, that was the superhero-wise, which one, if you had like 2 hours to be with, which one would you bang out of all of them? Quickly, 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, probably Black Widow.
What? Wow.
Isn't that what her name is? Yeah.
Yeah. So the
Out
chick,
of all of them,
you would
yeah.
do the chick.
Yes.
Wow. That's interesting. Okay. All right. Damn. Shit. That's pretty damn hot.
It was
now.
the first one that popped into my mind.
I guess. Very nice. Well, we'll have to talk about that a little bit later off air here because I'm a little intrigued. So yeah, that was a pretty decent movie. So yeah, hopefully people get a chance to see it. But you know what? After seeing that movie, I kind of could see how that correlates with going on in today's world, like kind of the politics,
Yes.
the
ulterior motives.
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, the conspiracy theorist in me is thinking, was that movie made on purpose to kind of tell the American people, hey, lighten the fuck up, look at what's going on, or what do you think, or think
I think a little bit, but I know it is the storyline was rooted in the comic books, which were written back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know the whole history. My son could tell you. He knows everybody's backstory.
Did you read comics as a kid?
No.
Just porn?
Yeah.
You're a dirty little girl, you. So yeah. So what other movies have you seen lately that you kind of enjoy or recommend? In fact, we could even get you on the show to do like movie reviews, the Trophy Wife.
Really, I don't go see very many movies. I only will go and see the blockbuster superhero movies.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I mean, the only movies I've seen this year are Civil War, and then my husband and I went and saw Deadpool, which was quite enjoyable.
That was enjoyable.
And then Christmas Eve we saw Star Wars. So I don't like those chick flick romance movies. Those are I find them horrible. I would not spend the money to go see them.
Yeah.
So I would be a terrible reviewer.
So you got to be honest with
because
us.
I only see movies that I know are going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend money on a
bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Chick flick.
Exactly.
All right. Just now, again, we're going to be honest here because there's some soldier in bumfuck Afghanistan that's listening that's going to really want to hear the real thing here. So, in that movie Deadpool, the sex scenes that Ryan Reynolds was in, were you a little turned on a little bit when you saw that?
No, I don't remember that part.
You don't remember that part? That was like a very...
My daughter is right over here.
Uh-huh. Hey, daughter. Did you see Deadpool? Oh, she's cowering. Just to let you know, okay, we're here at the Spaniard Castle. We got. There's 4 of us. It's myself, the trophy wife, her daughter, and her daughter's boyfriend. So,
which is equally uncomfortable.
Is it?
Well, for the questions that you're asking me.
So who cares? Do you care if we ask all these kinds of questions back there? What's that? How about you, boyfriend? Do you care?
I'm fine.
He's gonna throw up.
He looks a little nervous. Yeah, he looks a little nervous. Yeah, we're gonna deal with him later here because we're gonna ask him some questions about dating a daughter of a Marine. So we're gonna get to him in a little bit. So nobody is safe. Always armed. Weapons are free. Again, you got it on Black Sheep Bravo. With us today is the trophy wife. Again, wife of a combat veteran. We're talking about kind of the shit that wives deal with. So the next question I had for you is that have you ever been in contact with any other wives or spouses of combat veterans?
Oh yeah, because we're my husband and I are involved in different organizations. We ride with a motorcycle group that's all combat veterans. So there's a lot of other women around. So we commiserate with each other, but it's fun, it's social, and we've been married for 20 years, like I said, so I know how to deal with him. We're definitely on an upswing now. I mean, he's really got his PTSD and his emotions under control. And so yeah, I mean, there's other women. I guess we don't really talk in depth about each other's personal business, but we know.
Yeah, that's cool. What about you see in the news or on Facebook, social media, all these different things about how these spouses of soldiers and anybody in the service that are deployed and they come back and the divorce rate is really high. Have you heard any of those kinds of stories? And if you have, what are your thoughts on that? The divorce rate?
I really think there was a time when in our marriage where I thought that we were headed that way. And it just comes down to, you have to try. I mean, you have to have some patience and understanding with the veteran, with your husband, your spouse, and you just have to try. You just have to talk to each other. There has to be good communication. I mean, the one thing we always had going for us was, that we always had great sex, so I think that's really what held us together, even during times when we didn't like each other very much. We were still okay in other in other venues.
So you were good. That's what kept the fire alive.
That's what really kept it alive, and our children.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our son came pretty much later in our relationship, but when our girls were little, that was the glue that held us together.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to make an effort. Marriage doesn't come easy for anyone. I mean, even for civilian couples, it doesn't come easy for anyone. You have to put effort into it. You get out of it what you put into it, basically.
Now, are you talking putting in? Are you talking like different holes, or are you talking just? Of course, I'm going to turn this into a sexual talk. Of
course
now.
You are.
Yeah, of course, we have to. Well, one thing you can speak about, going back to that impulsive thing, if you had a chance to be with any Marvel superhero in that Civil War thing, going back to Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, now, is that something that...
I knew you were going to let that go.
I'm not going to let that go. That's pretty damn hot. Now, is this the Scarlett Johansson in her uniform, or like in one?
Oh, definitely.
Yes, the uniform gets you. Gotcha.
That black leather number.
Black leather. Yeah. We're going to move on then, because I'm starting to get aroused, so we don't want to mess with that. So again, leather. You mentioned something that you ride with a motorcycle association. All right. How did you get wrapped up in that, or who introduced you, or what was your feelings about joining that association?
Well, my husband met a guy that was involved with it through the vet center, I want to say. So, the vet center has been an excellent resource for both of us, because it's connected him with other veterans. It helps him to see that he's not alone in the world, that other people are going through exactly the same thing that he's going through. And that's been just a godsend, the vet center. So I highly recommend that to any veteran that's just getting back, or has been back, or whatever. That's a good resource to go through. So yeah, he made friends through there. Met a guy who was in CVMA, the Motorcycle Combat Vet Motorcycle Association, and took it from there. So one day he just came home and told me he bought a motorcycle. So I mean, he could be a little impulsive. He didn't ask, because I'm sure he knew I probably would have said, yeah, maybe we can't afford that now. Probably you shouldn't do it. So he just went ahead and did it, and it was fine, because we enjoy riding, and it's good therapy for him. He calls it his wind therapy.
Nice.
So,
very nice.
It's just another outlet for him to be on the road, be on a motorcycle, and just see breathtaking scenery when we go for rides, and just get that wind therapy.
You ever pull off the side of the road and get a little frisky with each other?
Not usually. Usually we just get nachos and some bar food. We're really addicted to bar food now.
Yeah, I can dig it. Yeah, I can definitely dig it. Now, there's been a lot of stuff going on in the media this week. People are still talking about Prince. Okay, so it kind of looks like you come from the era of that generation.
Yes.
Were you so worked up about that? I mean, there was a lot of people that was very sad about that.
I don't get that. I don't get being such a big fan that it's like that it affects your life, some of these people you see on Facebook, they're all crying purple tears.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. I feel bad. I'm sorry that he's dead. I mean, the circumstances, people, it sounded like he was addicted to painkillers or whatever. I don't know how it happened, but I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry he's dead, but it didn't ruin my day, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, because like I said,
the music lives on. He lives on through his music.
Okay.
So I guess that's the moral of the story.
Yeah. So you weren't broken up. You didn't calling off of work, or you were so fucking devastated.
I remember. I mean, I first saw it on Facebook, and I remember going, "Oh my God, Prince died." So it was like 10 seconds of shock, and then I was okay. I was over it after that.
You're too busy trying to look up how to get the next fucking bargain on Pinterest, or what's the latest crave in whatever fashion.
Exactly.
Speaking of fashion, now when you go riding with your husband, and for those of you that haven't figured it out yet, that husband is me. So the trophy wife happens to be the wife of the Spaniard, yours and truly. So hence the sexual banter. When you go out and ride with us, when we go out riding, what do you don the leather, or what is your choice of wear?
I do. I mean, pretty much. I don't want to call it a uniform, but everybody pretty much wears the leather vest that's called your cover, and it's got
your cover.
Isn't that what it's called?
It's a cut.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's
a cover.
Cover. That's a hat or some shit. All right, it's a cut. I've had a couple.
How
beers.
many beers have you had today?
Well, you had to give me beers in order to convince me to be on this little talk show we got going on here.
Gotcha.
All right, so it's called a cut.
A cut.
But it's got
not a cunt. That's
no.
Yeah, you almost said that.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
And it's got, your patch on it, on the back, the CVMA patch. It's like a red and black and yellow skull. It's pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
So I wear that. However, I am a woman of a certain age, and I do not want the sun on me. So even if it's blazing hot outside, I usually will wear long sleeves.
Yeah.
And I wear jeans, even if it's hot, because, it's just safer that way. Jeans, boots.
Now speaking of hot, we're in kind of mid-spring. It doesn't really feel like it here in the Midwest.
No, it's like 45 degrees
out
out here. We're sitting out on the back porch.
But yeah, people are still fucking cutting their
shivering.
grass. And
Wait, I think it stopped. He must have turned the loop off.
The sound loop off. So
it'll start back up. Don't
It's
worry.
going to snow here in a little bit. I fucking guarantee it. Give it time.
The clouds have that look.
So yeah, we're middle of spring. We're heading into summer now. As a woman, when you go, Lake Michigan is nearby. There's a beach nearby. We go to the beach. Do you prefer a 2-piece or a 1-piece bikini or bathing suit?
I prefer a 1-piece. It's just more comfortable.
A 1-piece.
Mm-hmm.
When did it become about comfort? I mean, you got a great body. I mean, for those of you that have not seen the Trophy Wife, you have a very, very great body, and I'm just wondering, what is it about? Is it that you don't want to show off that body?
Because you just have to be realistic. I mean, I'm not comfortable with my midsection. I've had 3 kids. Mm-hmm. My oldest is 20, and I have stretch marks. It's just, it's not as tight as it used to be.
But see, nowadays,
and that's why I applaud that one woman, even though I kind of think she's trashy, but that one Kendra, who was like married to Hugh Hefner or whatever with 3 other people.
Do you think?
Because she just went.
Hold on, hold that thought.
Well, let me tell you why I admired the tramp.
Okay, go for it. Tell her the
and I'll stop banging on the table. He keeps pointing at me because I'm banging on the table.
You can bang this later.
But she just posted a picture of herself. I think she's had 2 or 3 kids, and she showed a picture of her midsection where the skin is loose. She has stretch marks, and I applaud her for that, because most of these celebrities, when they post shit, it's all airbrushed, and you can pretty much nip and tuck anything in the picture that you want and make yourself look like you're 20 again, and it's not realistic.
Yeah.
And it's not good. I have 2 young daughters. It's just better for girls to see the truth.
Mm-hmm. So is that a good thing now? I mean, because again, the way the media works nowadays, they're telling these young girls, this is the way you're supposed to be. This is the way you're supposed to look. Mm-hmm. Thin, trim, So, but you, woman with 2 daughters, you don't believe in that.
Well, I think you should be healthy. I don't think that you should be overweight. I don't agree with the women who are very overweight who say they're still healthy. I don't know that that's possible, but I could be wrong.
What about the chicks that wear the stretchy yoga pants that
shouldn't be wearing them?
Yeah, you know where I'm going with this.
Whatever, I don't care.
I mean, you could see a lot going on right there.
Yeah.
I mean, you got camel toe, you got that ass crack.
Well, see, that's why I don't put the bikini on, even though I'm glad that you think I still look great, but I would not be comfortable in a bikini, and I think there are people out there that I wouldn't want to see it.
Yeah. Well, you definitely got, the rack. I think the rack is definitely going for you. So, what size are those puppies, do you know?
Okay, that's enough.
That's enough?
I don't know.
Is that the size?
Yes.
Is that the size?
Enough.
It's enough.
That's enough.
That's a good.
That's the size.
That's a good size. Now, going back earlier, you talked about Kendra, the Playboy
yeah,
model.
And then she's married to that guy. I don't know.
But
she got caught with the transvestite.
Yeah,
I know too much. I don't know why I know this.
What the fuck is up with that?
I don't have any idea.
You watch a lot of TV,
I don't know. No, I do not watch any of that shit.
Yeah.
I don't. No, you know what I watch? And it drives you crazy. I watch that between, after the news, that Access Hollywood comes on,
yeah,
and it's just on. That's the only
Yeah.
reason I watch it,
Yeah.
because there's
So who
nothing
you
else
following?
on. I don't know. So I'm not. What do you mean?
Like the whole new, like the Ozzy and Sharon
well,
bullshit.
I think that's made up. Do you think that's made up? It seems very coincidental that it's right during this tour that he's doing.
Yes,
because I didn't
that
hear
is.
anything about this tour until all of a
broke
sudden
up.
they're getting
Yeah,
divorced,
that's-
and now they're promoting a tour. So it just seems a little suspect to me.
I think their publicist has a lot to do with that. And then the other thing was Kelly Ripa. I think you were telling me about Kelly Ripa and Michael.
Oh, isn't she your Kelly Ripa is the like if you ever got a hall pass? That'd
my
be,
spank bank, too,
that would be who you'd want to be with is Kelly Ripa.
I could see either you, Kelly Ripa, and the chick from the Charmed. What was her name? She used to be on Who's the Boss. But she was a
Oh
little
yeah,
girl.
Alyssa Milano.
Yeah, see, I like to be
With her whole breastfeeding campaign.
Really? She I didn't know about that. Was that recently?
Yeah.
Breastfeeding.
Well, I don't know what even brought it up, but
Was Tony Danza in the back? Is it,
I
hey,
don't-
hey, suck a tit. It's okay to suck a tit in public. Hey, hey, Angela. One of those
Yeah, I don't
things?
know.
No. What is your view on breastfeeding in public?
do it. Oh, in public?
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I breastfed our kids, but not in public. If we were going to be somewhere,
You got
you
picture-
could
you got-
pump it
you got
and put
pictures
it in
of
a
it?
bottle. I don't think you need to be whipping out your.
Your titty. Go ahead and say it. Just whip that titty out and just stuck it in that
I
kid's
don't.
mouth.
But that's just me. That's what I'm comfortable with. And honestly, is it really a big deal?
I
I've
don't think
never
it's a big
seen
deal.
anybody do it anywhere.
But here's
so
my
it's,
thing.
It's
I mean,
not really an issue for me.
It's about timing, I think. I thought if you know what time your baby kind of eats, wouldn't you kind
Right.
of time it out to say, you know what, instead of
feed
waiting
them before you leave the house, and
instead
like I
of-
said, you could pump it and put it in a bottle.
Yeah,
Because it's not always about your comfort. It's about the comfort of other people. It's about other people's modesty, not just yours.
So
You know
is
what I
it
mean?
is it because people are I hate to say this word ignorant, but it has really nothing to do with ignorance. I think it's you said comfort.
Yeah,
right?
it's
I mean-
not ignorant. I don't think it's ignorant. I don't think it's that people are against breastfeeding. I think that it's just not something they want to see. Because whether you want to admit it or not, your breasts are sexualized, especially in this country.
Yeah,
and
that's true. I'm staring at yours right
I
now.
know. I can tell, even with those dark glasses.
It's cold
on.
outside, so yeah, you can kind of
Mm-hmm.
see through that. But my thing was, you're breastfeeding. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But who is to say you get that now? Like I said, everybody's a creep nowadays. You get that
Well,
weird
exactly.
fucker. You get that weird fucker.
There's going to be weird fuckers out there staring at you, or like I think of my son, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure he would probably be staring.
Like, hey man, what's
I'd
up
be
with
staring
that?
too.
Oh, shit.
It's not something you see every day.
Exactly. You don't see that. Which, you know what, I haven't seen it lately. I mean, it was just something on Face page or, something on Twitter. One of those social media things. You see it and it pops up. It's the topic of discussion of the day. Kind of like with this bullshit with the whole gender bathroom shit. I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean,
It's enough already.
does-
It's not even something that they should even be making a law about. It shouldn't even be really a topic of discussion. It's such a small percentage of the population. I mean, how many transgendered people do you even see? Have you
Yeah.
ever even seen anywhere?
Yeah.
I mean, there's not that many, or unless they're blending in so well. And if they blend in that well, use the bathroom. Who's going to know?
Yeah, don't advertise it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like we're making a big deal about it. Where did they use the bathroom before?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, obviously, either they thought ahead and went at home, or to me, it's just not an issue. And it comes back to, I almost think that the media leads us, that it's like a smokescreen so that we're not really seeing the other issues that are more important.
That's a good point. Yeah, what the fuck is going on while this bullshit is
Shit is-
happening?
exactly.
The shit is brewing
Exactly.
up someplace else. That's, we've talked about that before. And yeah, so I'm willing to bet in the next couple days something's going to pop up newsworthy that's going to be devastating. That, hey, while we were too busy worrying about fucking swinging dicks going into the different wrong bathroom and titty sucking at Target, there's something else really going on down the street
Right.
here that nobody gives a fuck about because we're too busy wrapped up in this bullshit. So, yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. So what do you do? I mean, don't you think the school's hands are tied behind their backs when they say?
Well, they are now.
So what do you do? And is that really a big issue?
You know what though? That to me is that's a different issue though. When you're talking about young people in high school.
Yeah.
And if there is a transgendered person at the school, it's not a secret. Everyone knows that kid is trans. And they should absolutely be accepted. There should be no bullying. There should be, whatever. If that's what you need to do with your life, that's fine. However, I don't know if I would want my teenage daughter changing for Jim with a male. I mean, even though he identifies as female, and again, that's fine. That's perfectly fine.
All right, so wait.
But I don't know if I want, but still anatomically male.
Right, but let me stop you right there. So you're saying, so I understand you right. Let's say your daughter, our daughter, is at a gym, and Caitlyn Jenner goes into the dressing room or the locker room, the women's locker room.
I gotta be honest. That would bother me.
That would bother you.
That person is anatomically male. Yeah. Can I tell you something? The health club that we go to, and this goes back to it's not always about your comfort. It's about the comfort and modesty of the group, of everybody, the collective. They had to make a rule at our health club that no males of any age, even infants, could not, they had to draw the line completely, could be in the locker room. They made a family changing room for when they had like open swim days for family. I mean, when my son was little, he was probably 2 or 3, I brought him we went swimming at the health club, and someone came in and told me that my son had to leave. I'm like, well, he can't go in the men's locker room by himself. He's little. He's a toddler. And they said, well, we have family changing rooms for that. And I said, oh, okay, I understand. So I took him into the family changing room. But so that's what I'm saying. There's older people, different generations, people with different belief systems. It's not always about the transgendered person or the person breastfeeding. It's not just about the comfort of that individual. It's about the comfort and modesty of the whole collective. Yeah. And you have to put the group first, I think.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I could see that. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Well, this is kind of a tangent here, but kind of going back to the whole using the bathrooms bullshit. This is a true story, and I think I've told you this before. When I was deployed overseas, Saudi Arabia, I was on the Kuwaiti border, middle of fucking nowhere, and there's no bathrooms, okay? So all you have is like a piece of plywood, or actually 4 pieces of plywood. There's a door cut out, and then either screen or it's open, and you got 2 holes, right, cut out, and then underneath is 2 steel barrels cut in half, and that's the toilet. So eventually, when that got filled up, you had to burn shit. So me being the fucker that I am, I'm very meticulous when it comes to taking a shit. So I have to have the right circumstances. I got to have the right breeding material, and I think it has a lot to do with the way I am today. Is I would go middle of the night. Okay, we would do our patrols. We would come back. I would wait until everybody settled in, until I knew nobody was using the shitter. All right, so I would, it's out there kind of camouflaged, blending in with the scenery, and I would go up to this thing by myself, right? And I had the whole 2-hole shitter to myself, so I could spread out, relax, do what I was doing, sharpen my K-bar or whatever I was doing, and I would enjoy myself. Well, one night there's shit going on in the sky. You could see the air attack going. You could see shit off in the distance, and so I'm thinking, okay, well, I better speed this shit up because it might come this way. So I'm taking it easy, enjoying this because it's not too often. And you guys and girls out there will realize and understand what I'm talking about. MREs can definitely plug you up. So this was a birthing process more than anything. So I'm sitting there. And I see somebody walking up, and I'm thinking, oh, great, there goes my alone time. So I'm thinking, not a big deal. Hopefully it's somebody cool I could talk to. We could bullshit. We used to do that. It's called bullshitting. You're sitting and shitting next to each other, so you talk. It's called bullshitting. So I figured this was my time to bullshit with somebody new, and introduce myself, I guess. So I see this silhouette walking, and as it gets closer, I'm thinking, damn, man, this person is walking kind of funny. You know, like the gait didn't seem that of a man. So I'm thinking, there's no way it can't be a woman out. There's no women out here. I mean, we were in the middle of fucking nowhere. It was like
you didn't have any women there?
No. It was all, we were guarding an intelligence. They had like those big radar signals. I mean, there were all the intelligence that was coming in from Kuwait and Baghdad was coming in through this, being channeled here. So we had to protect that satellite, that feed. So I don't know what it was. I wasn't comms. I was...
Okay, well, don't leave me in suspense.
Okay, all right. So anyway.
Who was it?
Take it easy. So I'm in there.
Was it Scarlett Johansson?
Oh, that would have been fucking badass. That would have been bad. But close. Well, I wouldn't say close. So this person walks in, and I'm expecting to hear somebody say, "Hey, what the fuck's up, man? What's going on?" But it was a woman. And it took me by surprise. That was the exact same fucking look I had. Like, what the fuck is this?
Where did she come from?
Where did she come from? Yeah, exactly.
Did you ask her? Did you
I
make
did.
conversation?
I did. I mean, as awkward as that was, she was a Marine, and she happened to be an officer. She was passing through. They were on their way to Kuwait to meet up with, I don't know, some dignitaries or something, middle of the night. They're either protecting somebody. She was with some kind of, I don't know, attaché with the CIA or so. I don't know. She was telling me, but I was so freaked out that I was sitting next to a woman, and I'm 18 years old.
Well, she didn't sit right next to you.
Right, as close as we are right now. That's where she was sitting.
I mean, couldn't she have left like a few spaces?
There's 2 holes in a piece of plywood.
Oh, so there's not like more stalls that she could have went to.
I mean, we're looking at a size of what? 6 by 4. I mean, it was very small.
You think she would have waited? I think I would have been like, somebody's out
she
there.
Probably because I covered. I kind of blended in. You couldn't tell I was in the shitter.
Did you make small talk?
I had to. I had no choice. I was like, hey, fancy meeting here. I didn't know what to say. Again, I was 18, and I was a cocky motherfucker too. So I kind of, at that point, I really didn't give a fuck at that moment. I mean, what else are you supposed to do? So yeah, we started bullshitting. So she was telling me, she was a major. She was actually, she was high up there, in rank. And, we got to talking, and I says, okay, well, I would love to talk to you, but I find this very awkward, and I'm going to go about my business.
Well, see, I'm sure she understood,
I'm sure. Well, but that's the beauty about the military nowadays. Well, I mean, when we look back and we talk about the bullshit that's going on today, that wasn't a big deal, all right? I mean, there was a stranger, 2 strangers, male, female.
No, but that was the atmosphere that you were in. That was the culture that you were in.
Well, even that,
so
that was a
different.
shock.
But when you're in Target, that is not the culture that most people are expecting. You're not expecting.
Yeah.
And you know what? If I was in a public restroom and some a legitimately transgendered person came in, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't say anything.
Really?
It really wouldn't bother me. But
or let's say you're sitting in a stall.
But some people are bothered by that.
Yeah. So that wouldn't bother you though if you saw somebody standing pissing.
Back when you and I were first dating and I worked at that place in the mall, there was a guy that came in. He was an older man and he was transgendered.
Yeah. And
he was always in there shopping. Always. And it
was
whatever.
No big deal.
That was like the first transgendered person I ever saw.
Yeah.
And it was an older guy and he was balding and he would curl his hair like it was just he was not good looking.
No,
I hate to say it. And he must have had hairy arms or like very manly hands because he always wore long white gloves.
Really?
Yeah.
Even when he was shopping?
Yes.
Oh, there goes
I don't know
Hold on, there goes our liquor run. Finally.
It's not a lawnmower. It'll pass over.
We have a plane. Look, I don't know what kind of plane that is, but yeah, it's definitely. We ordered some liquor, and it's parachuting down right now, our reinforcement. But see, okay, now here's another thing that kind of just popped in my head. You are a former licensed esthetician, right?
Yes.
And for those out there that don't know what that is, what is an esthetician?
An esthetician is a skincare therapist. I mean, basically, if you go to see an esthetician, you're going to get waxed, hair removal, facials, that kind of stuff.
Facials.
Skincare.
Facials.
Yes.
What kind of?
Not the kind of facials you're thinking of.
Oh.
Facials.
Like
I'm going to wash your face and exfoliate your face.
I'm going to exfoliate your face.
Put a mask on you.
As soon as the kids go to bed, I'm gonna exfoliate some things. So I remember a story you told. Well, part of the things you would do was to do bikini waxing
Yes.
and stuff like that, right? You know where I'm kind of going with this.
Yes,
but
I know exactly what the story you're about to bring up.
It's a cool story,
Creepy
though.
bastards that used to call.
So tell us about that, because that'd be interesting.
Occasionally, I mean, we did bikini waxes and Brazilians on women all the time.
Well, wait, let me stop you there.
Mm-hmm.
You got to tell me about the Brazilian experience. First doing it, doing a Brazilian. How was that?
There were, I don't know. I mean, there were some people that. Now, let me tell you. First of all, everybody is clean. There's no disgusting person, because if you're the type of person that is going to spend money and get a Brazilian, you're not a disgusting, dirty person. So no
your
one was.
clam's got to be clean.
Yeah, nobody was ever dirty. Everyone that came in was like.
So shiny beavers.
Yes, exactly,
Right.
as you would expect. Nobody was disgusting.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know.
you got.
I didn't
really-
mind doing bikini waxes, but the Brazilians, I don't know. I don't need to do that.
No.
But we would occasionally get a guy that would call the spa and ask if we would do a bikini on a male client.
Yeah.
And I told him, yes, we will. However, the door will be opened at all times.
Yeah.
You will be covered at all times. And if your junk is in my way, you will move it out of the way for me.
Wow. Yeah.
So in other words, I'm not touching you.
Yeah.
And the door would be open. So
That's
if
crazy.
he was, and honestly, I really think the guy, because he never made an appointment, but he called several times to talk to different people. I think he just wanted to talk about it. I think he was jerking off while he was
out.
having it described to him.
Really?
Honestly,
But you were
because he never made an appointment. He never came in.
So you were a sex phone operator.
I
and you didn't even know
was,
it.
and I
Holy
did it for
shit.
free, which really pisses me off.
Damn,
but
how much would you have charged for that? If
For the Brazilian
phone, no,
or for
phone
the-
sex, for the phone sex, for jerking somebody off over the phone.
Well, it wasn't something I did intentionally. It occurred to me after the fact, or like probably when he called the second or third time
Yeah.
and still didn't make an appointment. It's like, okay, you know what we're going to do.
Yeah.
I've already given you the rundown. Either make an appointment or, stop calling.
Yeah. Wow.
Shit, or get off the
Shit.
to come full circle with the
Yeah.
conversation.
And a facial.
Yeah.
Full circle. Man, that's crazy stuff. But yeah, like I said, so we've always had that same type of bullshit. I mean, it's nothing new. Like it's just fucking obnoxious to see and hear the news about all the shit that's coming up. But these really aren't new problems. We've had the same kind of, like, I don't know if it's the
No, I think it's the social media. It's you hear about it and then everybody's on the topic, like everybody at once, because we have social media now, and the news travels so much faster now. I think we'd probably all be better off if we didn't have.
Do you remember when the internet first came out?
Yes.
And we would download porn. It took for hours to
Come on.
It
No,
took
but
a
I
while.
can remember like if I would want to go online for something, you had that dial-up, so you'd go and you'd put the computer on, and then I'd go put a load of laundry in, and then I'd come back and I'd hit the dial-up, whatever. I don't even remember how to do it, and then it would make all that bing, bang, 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 crazy noise and
Like
shit.
that, like that bird.
And it would take take forever, and then I'd go put the load in the dryer. It would take 10 minutes to even get online. Now it's like if it takes more than 5 seconds, we're bitching. Like, why is this running so slow? What's wrong with the internet? We're so spoiled now, I guess.
Yeah. So what's your porn of choice? What do you look at when you're on your phone? I could look at your phone right now. I guarantee there's.
Oh, go ahead. There is not.
Yeah,
there's nothing in my history.
There's a big hairy dick right here on the screensaver.
There is not.
What
That's
is that?
you.
A picture of me or a picture of my actual dick?
That was probably you calling, wasn't it?
When?
You wanted your hoo-ha waxed.
Oh, maybe.
That was
you. You never
you.
know. No, you
That
never know.
was you.
Hoo-ha.
Yeah.
Who
I don't know.
the fuck says hoo-ha?
No, that was the first word that
What is
popped
that?
into my
Is
head.
that supposed to be dick or a vagina?
I think it could be either one. I think hoo-ha is all encompassing.
That's a good question, though. Do women
or your bits and pieces, or your
how do you like your part to be described? Do you like to call it a vagina or who knows?
I don't think we need to speak of it, so you
no,
don't
like-
need to call it any. I mean, you and I in private can call it whatever we want, but it's not. It
But
doesn't.
I know, but when you're saying-
it doesn't come up in conversation.
When you go to the doctor, or you go to the nurse, it's like, yeah, my, there's something wrong with my whatever. What do you call it? when you go to the doctor I don't know, do women have that
that
problem?
doesn't come up very often.
I guess I don't go to the doctor very often. I don't know.
Well, I think if you go to the gynecologist, it's just a foregone conclusion that you're there for
Vagina
those
reasons?
parts, yes.
Oh,
so you could just, name whatever symptoms you're having, and I think they know what area you're speaking of.
I guess that makes sense.
Yes.
That was kind
of like the proctologist. I mean, if you start
That
saying
would
you
be
got burning, they're not going to say in your ear. What are you talking about? They know what you're talking about.
That's pretty fucking funny, man.
Yeah.
In your ear. That's funny. That's a shitty job. No, proctologist.
Yes.
That it would be even a gynecologist when you think about it. Like you gotta be really raring to go. Like say when you're a kid, and you say, what are you gonna be when you grow up? And you're like, I want to be a doctor, right? At what point do you say I want to look at vaginas all day, or I want to look at assholes all day?
I don't know. I guess that's probably something you decide. You probably think, I want to be a doctor, and then you narrow it down as you get older and more mature. Mm-hmm. That's what I would think. Do you remember when we lived in Illinois and the girls were little? The gynecologist that I went to when I was pregnant with them, his name was Dr. Bush.
I do remember that. I bet you he's got a kid by now.
In the rooms they have the latex gloves that they wear, and I guess he wore he had like big hands, so he had like his own extra large gloves, but he wrote his name on them, and it said like Bush. He wrote Bush, and then it said exploration gloves underneath, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah, so
I guess he almost had to be a gynecologist.
Yeah, I guess
with that name.
gynecologists have a sense of humor. So.
Why would you go on YouTube? What are you, 12?
No, every once in a while I gotta learn. I'm learning how to play guitar.
Oh, okay. Well, that's different. When you're looking up how to play certain chords, that's different. But
sometimes, sometimes you see something on the side.
You off track? So you have to click on it.
You have to click on it because you never know. Looking at street fighting or, pity fails. I mean, you see it. You got to check it out. You got to click.
I guess I don't know.
So anyway, we started off the show talking about living with a veteran. A combat veteran, or just veterans in general, how it's different, and it could be an experience. I mean, overall, would you ever go back and change anything? Back in time? No, huh?
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't change anything.
Well, you're getting me
Nothing.
all misty-eyed.
No, because like I said, you got to put the effort into it. And you and I saw the problems we had. We put the effort into it. And things are really good now. And it almost makes me cry to think that we could have thrown in the towel and then we wouldn't be where we are today, which is very happy. Mm-hmm. I mean, life is good for us, I think.
That's good. Well,
I hope
thanks.
you think the same thing.
So you want me to pay you now? Or? So there you have it. So one of the things I want to mention out there is on a weekly show, Friday nights, 2200 Central Time, 2100 for those of you that don't understand military time, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 Central. What I'd like to do this week is a little something different. Being that we had you on, so next week after the show goes on Veteran Radio Syndicate, we want women, actually. I'd like to have some spouses, men and women, because there are women veterans out there that have been deployed where their husband stayed behind. So I don't want to limit it just to wives. It could be spouses. I would like for you all to either send me an email at Spaniard@blacksheepbravo.com or hit me up on Facebook at Spaniard, Tony Spaniard Chapa on Facebook, or even our Facebook page, Black Sheep Bravo. You could answer there, but tell us a little bit about some of the experiences you had living with a veteran, good or bad, and share those experiences. And if it sounds good, we'll be able to reach out to you and maybe have you be a phone-in guest, or if you're local, maybe even have you on as a guest. But it's interesting to find out, to see what goes on out there besides the different day-by-day things that veterans go through. Let's face it, as veterans, we do some crazy, stupid shit sometimes.
Sometimes.
And sometimes it takes the right partner to get them on track. So, I'm going to tell you this right now. I thank you for sticking it out. And
are you thanking me for my service?
I'm thanking you for your cervix. I'm going to play with that kitty later. So, have a couple more beers and we're going to pet that cat. So, anyway, so next show,
our daughter did go in the house about a half hour ago.
Yes, they got scared. So they couldn't handle the shit. So a couple things for next week, and maybe even possibly for this show. Did a Recon Bravo. We went out to a motorcycle dealership, a Harley Davidson dealership to be exact, and I was meeting up with some people to kind of ask them about that same question we had earlier about the whole gender bathroom bullshit deal. So I actually got a person that I interviewed. We're going to either have her feedback on this show. I'll have to take a look. If not, we're definitely going to have her on next show. But for next week, we're also going to be reaching out to some folks that are doing a lot of different veteran events here in the Midwest. So again, if you guys got something you want to promote, give me a shout out. Again, we're on all the different social media, Facebook, Twitter, and of course our email. Reach out to us. Definitely find us on Facebook. And let us know your thoughts, your concerns, or ideas for a future show. So again, next week, Recon Bravo, we're out and about. And until then, always keep them on, always armed, and thank you for listening. Trophy Wife, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me, husband.
Let's go.
Let's go do it.
Let's go do it. We're out.